Welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, Captivating Christian, and of course, with my co-host, Brother Nate, and you lovely, beautiful, black, brown, and yellow, and purple, and green, and all the shades of the color of this human rainbow. Welcome to another Tuesday where we talk about what? Politics, news, and a little bit of YouTube mess with, light satire and shade. Let me stop playing. All right, Brother Nate, are you ready? And to all you beautiful people in the beautiful balcony here on Cap Hill, welcome. And the waiter or waitress of your choice will be by to serve you your drink of choice. Today, my drink of choice is iced coffee with a little almond milk creamer and a little spiked. So, don't judge me. Talk to Jesus. So, hopefully, everybody's had a great start to their week. It is only Tuesday, and so much has happened and continues to happen that, this is like Friday all over again.
Mm-hmm. That's because Christmas was so slow.
Yeah. It must be Chinese New Year.
Well, it is a lunar.
Yeah,
the lunar moon or whatever the hell they call it.
Yeah, something's going on. But yes. So first of all, how are you, sir?
I'm doing quite well, sir.
That's great. That's great.
Remind me to ask you something later on.
Okay.
That I forgot to ask you. but I really forgot to ask you this one. Okay. Hey, Patty Duke. Hey, Melissa. How's everybody doing this evening?
I will definitely make a note. Okay. Hopefully everybody's well. Hey, how you doing? Miss Patty, always a pleasure to see you. Auntie Melissa, how are you? Thank you for staying up and listening
they got snow up there?
Me and Brother Nate.
I'm glad I don't.
Please keep it. Because last night I thought it was going to come down. Them clouds was dark and thick.
Yeah, and they were low. They were real low.
Yeah, they were really low. I thought we were going to be in for it. I was like, oh, please no. But dodged the bullet. But they talk about tomorrow snow, but I hope it's just rain. I really do.
Keep all that stuff.
I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. But anyway, again tonight. Oh no, sorry, Auntie. You could keep all that snow with
you. All that stuff.
You keep all of it. Just have fun. Make taco angels or something. I don't know. Just but anyway.
No girls, stay in the house and watch this train wreck.
Yeah, I mean, it's like watching. It really is like watching TV, like guilty pleasure TV. But the problem is what a lot of people don't realize, and I think even the participants don't realize, that this is your real life, though, bitch. This is not a scripted kind of sheltered thing where things can happen, but they got security, and law enforcement don't let things get out of hand to the degree of people going, you know what I'm saying? Like, things are kind of in a bubble when things happen. Not so much in real life.
There won't be any Academy Awards or Oscars tonight.
Right. Hell no. Hell no. Not even no NAACPs.
No NAACP awards.
No Image Awards. Hell no.
Yeah, it is. It's a damn shame, girl. We knew something was gonna happen. We knew that.
Of course. But I didn't expect this. Like, this degree, I didn't expect. Some of the other stuff, yes, because it's less like, look who you looking at. Of course, there's bound to be something. You know what I'm saying? But I did not expect this degree to have transpired. But we're not gonna get into that right now.
I was just expecting STDs and stuff like that.
Really? I mean, I was expecting a lot of itching, crabbing, that kind of stuff, because we already know what the other person's situations and the camera slips of those situations. So I think mustard, or whatever mustard he called it, was a bit of a compliment, considering what we have seen on the view sector of what she may look like, smell like, or anything else. I think mustard was very much a fragrant compliment compared to what it could have been, like trash can, dumpster water, old hot dog water. I mean, it could have been a plethora of other descriptions, but I don't know. But we'll get into that. Just put a pin in that, and we will definitely get back there. But of course, and not back there like that. But that just made me almost throw up in my mouth. But anyway, we're just gonna get to the news. Oh my goodness. All right. So let's just do what we normally do and get into some updated news first and foremost. So some of these stories will go in order. Others probably will change the order a little bit. So just follow me if you can. One update. Remember some time ago, I want to say in the early 20s, early like 20,000, like 2020 or 2021, when that lieutenant was pepper sprayed by the Virginia police officers. I think he pulled over to the gas station, and they asked them questions and he answered them, and they proceeded to pepper spray him in the face. That went viral for a time. During this time, I believe, of course, we were dealing with the death of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and all these other things. So this just added on to this is 2021. This just added on to the change for policing, especially when it comes to Black and brown men, let alone women and everything else. However, this man who was a lieutenant basically told him his rank and everything else, and they continued to still berate him and question him. They even pepper sprayed him. Long story short, he had filed a lawsuit against the city and state, and he was seeking $1 million in damages, and only got $3,600. Yeah, let that sink in. Yeah, let that sink in. And really, he only got $2,685. Yeah.
Yeah. Notice the silence.
Yeah, I mean,
here you have a serviceman a serviceman that was pulled over in the gas station. They were pretty much berating him. And then they proceeded to mace him and cuff him. All because when they pulled him, when they went after his truck, he had tinted windows. And he had tinted. I mean, and he had temp plates in the windows, which were visible,
right?
Because they even the reason that the
spotlight is either.
The reason why the cop pulled him over in the first place said we can't see your license plate. You have no license plate, and right in the same shot, they had his plate in the window, plain as day. I could read it.
So that's just so unfortunate on so many levels. But again, not surprising.
Yeah, he can always use his military experience to go up against him.
But I mean, even with the military itself, that's a tough thing because there's so much of the same thing in the military that's being reported nowadays. So I wish him all the best in trying to get justice for what he suffered. But that's just ridiculous. That's just a slap on the wrist to everyone. It's so unfortunate. It's beyond words. Really.
I mean, you treat your service like that. I mean, they fuck over them anyway.
Yeah, but these are the same people that always talk about backing the blue and backing law enforcement and supporting the military and we need military and we need this and we need that. These are the same mofos that turn around and will disregard a service person who has been berated by fellow officers and discount their whole experience. It doesn't make any sense to me.
But when they Rambo their ass, then when he Rambos their ass.
Right. Then it's he had PTSD and he was going through so much. No, you push somebody to the limit sometimes and you get what you get.
Now they have that skill set that they can use against you.
Right, exactly. Let's see. 5 police officers who are fired after the arrest of Taylor Nichols. This young man died 3 days after being arrested on January 7th. He was arrested, which led to an altercation with police, and he was brutally assaulted. I didn't know much about this story. I heard about it, but I didn't know much about it. 5 Memphis police officers were fired for excessive force and failure to intervene when they apprehended a young man, and he wound up dying in their custody. I believe he was 29 years old. Yes.
Yeah, right now all we're waiting for is the video.
Right. Yeah.
And the family wants to see it first.
Yeah. I mean, then the I'm not going to show the picture, but I guess if you see the article, you can see the picture. I
dropped the link in there.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, and then they're talking about giving those officers time. I know they mentioned in the article, but then the question is, are you giving them time because they happen to be Black? Some of them participated in this beating of this young 29-year-old man, because a lot of the other officers who participated in the same kind of behavior have not been charged.
No, they were on administrative leave with pay.
With pay, yeah. How about it?
This is the first time I've ever seen officials move as fast.
Well, yeah, because they don't want the Al Sharptons and they don't want them coming down, creating a spectacle, putting more attention on the fact that this has happened. That's the only reason why they move that quickly. And then 2, because the officers who participated in it, to me, in my opinion, happened to be Black themselves. So it was like, yeah, let's go ahead, let's do this. Because any other time we notice it's always this, there's an investigation that needs to be done, and there's all this extra questioning and so I don't know. But we shall see how that goes. We will keep you updated on that story. And also, I don't have this article because I was looking for it to bring it up real quick. But recently, I know we talked about, just to lighten it up a little bit, but not so much. We talked about the passing of Diamond from Diamond and Silk, the duo conservative group. But it is funny how I made up that little obituary kind of program about them having the actual service at Mar-a-Lago and Trump actually giving the eulogy, and who I must be psychic, and who actually gave the homily was former President Donald J. Trump himself. And talking about he didn't know Silk at all. He knew Diamond, but he didn't know Silk. After she was up there talking about he treated us like one of the kids. I said, you sound like a house. Like the people who were enslaved, or a house slave talking about I was treated just like one of the family, just like, what?
It's the kid he didn't know. Kid he didn't know about.
Yeah, but he didn't know nothing about you. Talking about, I didn't know nothing about Silk, but I learned about Silk today. They've been together the whole time.
Yeah, I think he was playing. It's just his way. It wasn't the time or place.
Yeah, no. And then he started talking about the campaign and how he lost and all types of stuff.
It's all about
It's always about him.
It's all about Darnell. Yeah, it's all about Darnell. I keep telling y'all.
I mean, put a wave cap on him and call him Darnell. Because
you're at this woman's funeral.
That's
and all
it.
you can think about it and talk about is yourself. So,
I just thought it was very, very funny.
Herman Cain was probably telling Diamond, "I told you, girl."
Right, I told you to stop the bullshit. But the reason why I even bring her up, because the autopsy has come out to prove that she passed away from heart disease. Now, as much as conservatism that she tried to push and play, talking, leave the plantation and get a Democrat plantation. You didn't have no insurance to see about your heart condition, boo-boo.
All that money?
All that money, $5-point-something million that you've racked up for the Fox Corporation for Mr. Murdoch. All that money from them books that God knows I haven't read them on Audible because I refuse to I don't even want to hear nothing about it. And I don't mind hearing a conservative point of view, but not something that comes with like just shit out your ass and nothing factual. No. So yeah, I it's important. Like, heart disease is out here killing closely more Black women than HIV/AIDS at this point. Like, it's almost neck and neck. Please, we need to start paying more attention to our health and not ignoring it or thinking, oh, God's gonna pray it away, or God's gonna like come down and just heal us all. That's what doctors are for. That's what emerging medicine is for. You trust in God that these people will, do what they need to do to heal you. You need to do what you need to do to heal you, whether that's change your diet or whatever. But we need to change our mindset, because this is just not worth it. To die at 51 years old from heart disease, and you out here talking all this crap about the Democratic Party and what they're not doing for people, and yet you sitting up here and not even taking care of your own health, and had a GoFundMe to bury you. And I wonder how much they paid Donald Trump to do the little swing dig he did, because I'm sure he didn't come there for free thinking, oh, I'm just gonna pay my respects because I loved her so much. Bullshit, because he didn't even know who the fuck she was. As much ass kissing as they were doing for him to get us, because that's how dumb they think we are, to kind of join the train. And don't get me wrong, some of us are pretty dumb to just follow the train without actual knowledge. But yeah, I just thought that was so disrespectful on so many levels. But whatever. Any thoughts before I move on? All right. So speaking of this Donald Trump train, and this is where I love for my conservative brothers and sisters. This is where I love for them to like really tell me where what went wrong here. So there's been this threat of the debt ceiling coming very close, and the United States coming extremely close to not paying the bill, right? So, at this moment, okay, nearly 25% of the U.S. national debt, 25% of the nation's entire debt came in 4 years compared to the umpteenth years, and I said umpteenth, that means a lot of them, a whole lot.
A whole umph, right?
A whole umph of kind of the debt ceiling teeter totter. And this is just really a thing that really just started because normally the debt ceiling was just raised and nobody even knew anything about it. It only became a thing when people in power knew that they could utilize it for leverage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll let you to believe who that party was. It doesn't take much. But when a certain man who happened to be black, then it was like, oh, what can we use to make him pay attention or to put him in his place when we need it? Oh, let's use this debt ceiling. Because before they would just, even in days of Ronald Reagan, when it came close to where the debt ceiling, they would raise it. You wouldn't know anything about it. You didn't hear it.
Go through that whole thing.
Not a thing. It wasn't even this whole thing in Congress where we were going back and forth and you had somebody going to the Senate and then somebody going to the House to kind of get them to vote on. It was never like that. It just happened all of a sudden because, they wanted something to be like, oh, we need to hold on to something to make this person, bow down to our whim. So anyway, long story short, and you can read it for yourself, the national debt has gone up 25% just in one administration. 4 years. And of course, people blame it on COVID relief and all this other kind of stuff. But the problem is he was giving out money and the bill wasn't being paid. And he was giving out buku money. And not just to you and me for COVID relief. We're talking about corporations who aren't paying shit in taxes. We're getting hand over fist money. That's why they love Trump so much. Not because he was a great president, but because he didn't do nothing with the regulations. It's like somebody, you give them something to put together. Say you're going to put together a TV stand. And everybody's going, oh, we don't need the instructions. We could just follow the picture, and put it together. And the shit is wonky and leaning and, what I'm saying? Don't hold nothing. That's the type of person that we were dealing with. So, yeah, of course. People who don't believe in reading instructions and just want to put shit to the wind and make the most money possible and then run out before the shit collapse. Yeah, that's the people that you're dealing with. So that's why we're at 25%. That's why we're hitting inflation right now. And everybody's talking about, oh, everything's so high. Yeah, because nobody wanted to pay the fucking bill, but they charged up everything. So yeah, this is where we're at. Yeah, I don't know. Your thoughts, sir?
Good evening, everybody coming into the chat.
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry. I don't see the chat right now. I try to go back to that later, but yeah.
Well, that's what happens. He's out here doing all these tax cuts and everything else. You knew that we were going to have to pay for that.
Yeah, the bill was coming. The
bill is here.
The bill been here. The bill been here. They about to put past due on that bill. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
that's right. Course, that's right. Pat who said, "Yeah, Trump." Yeah, I tell you, what little bit of taxes y'all going to get back that you might get back, because your taxes will be far less than what it has been.
Oh,
at least up to 2027.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get me some fucking chickens because I'm going to have me some eggs. I'm going to have me some eggs. I'm going to get me some chicken. Now, if y'all got some, just be careful. You got Hispanics people around in your neighborhood. Let me stop, because they're gonna steal your chickens.
I already see you now. You're gonna be just like this. This gonna be you with the chickens. I already see it. I see it coming. I see it in my spirit. This is gonna be you all day. You're gonna be selling chickens.
Selling them hot eggs.
Got them eggs.
Nobody follow you here, did they? How many you need?
2.
I'm gonna do 2 for $5 this time, but after that, can't do it no lower than that. Don't get us caught.
2 for $5. It is absolutely ridiculous. Yes, eggs have become a hot commodity. I was just in Sam's Club the other day, and when I tell you, people were in there getting them eggs like it was
They
nobody's.
didn't even get the brown ones, weren't they?
It was crazy. And not to mention that I'm sitting here watching all these people get eggs, and I'm just like, you do know that the bird flu is back. Yeah. So yeah, be careful on that. But yeah, all this other stuff is just so crazy. Like it's
Melissa said like
just at the tip of the iceberg, huh?
Melissa said like crack.
Yeah, I mean it's really bad. It's really, really bad. Like they even had limits on people buying eggs. You know,
buying
eggs like Sam's Club, like they come in those big kind of industrial, like, oh, you must have a bakery or some shit. You better only take 2 racks. Yeah, so it's really getting crazy out there. But yeah, so definitely want to look into that. They say that the debt ceiling may affect Medicaid and all those other kind of programs, and of course realize that the Republicans have the power of the purse right now. So even if it wasn't in an ordinary circumstance really going to affect those things, people will make it affect those things to make sure that 1, you pay attention, 2, you can find somebody to blame. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, we're just going to be playing the blame game. So I am really not looking forward to the menagerie of the bull crap, but definitely check out those 2 articles regarding the debt ceiling and the Medicare. And well, Social Security, that's a whole nother mythological creature. Social Security has 2 actual, and this is just real quick, 2 actual accounts that they deal out of. One which is almost like, for example, like a petty cash, and the other one is in the main account. The main account is not going to go bankrupt as long as the people are working and paying into it. It's the petty cash one that they have on the side that they've used as well to pay out. That will go depleting after a while because that's just, like overage, right? That they was utilizing. But of course, other people like to be like, well, no, Social Security is going to be gone and this, that, and the other. And what just happened? Can you guys hear me? Because I can't see nobody.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, like, what's going to happen? Social Security is going to be gone, this, that, and the other. And it's like, no, it's not really going to be gone. But it's just a scare tactic. But, I mean, nothing is permanent around here. Okay? So you know that. It's definitely important to know.
They do want to sunset it, make it so that it's voted on every 5 years, whether or not you receive Social Security.
Yeah, but and 2, they want to make sure they want to actually put it, in the hands of the stock market, which would be ridiculous. But go ahead.
But then 2, your largest group of people, the baby boomers, now that it's time for them the majority of them, it's time for them to start recouping some of that. Now all of a sudden they don't want to pay. So it's all the same thing. Where'd you go? He disconnected itself. I tell you.
No, I didn't disconnect itself. The other screen just went out. I don't know why I did that. But okay, we'll just work with what we got. So let's see. See, my other screen was really working. So now it's just like it threw me off.
You running double screens?
Yeah. And that really worked for me because then I could see the stuff on the other side. Now, like, I know where it is. Let's see. I gotta find you. somewhere with your bitch ass.
And Patty said, "Yeah, keep working so she can get paid." Yeah, and that's how it works.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how
yeah.
it works.
I mean, that's really how it works. As long as there are people working,
And that's
it
why I never
will.
understood why they had the issue with immigrants coming here to work, because they were still paying taxes and into our Social Security, but see, they weren't gaining any benefit from it
Yeah,
because they
right,
weren't citizens.
right,
So you want them to go away, because our population was dropping anyway.
right,
So the
right.
more people that you have working, the more you keep the coffers full.
Yeah, yeah, not the coffers. But yeah, that's just how it works. But unfortunately, everybody doesn't think that way. And when you don't know, you don't know. But real quick, let's go with the next one because I don't remember what the next one was because my other thing is gone. Where'd it go? All right, so real quick, and I'll just do this so I can have my other screen pop up because I know where I'm going. So if you're looking for me somewhere, on social media, you want to send me a story, you can definitely send me a story to one of these outlets, okay? Okay, so that's when you have them high tech powers, them surge protectors, and they just would randomly cut off on your ass. So it cut off the power to my other screen over here. So I was like, and usually it'll go back to my main laptop, but it didn't. And I was like, why didn't it move? So okay, I got everything situated, and thank you guys for your patience. Definitely appreciate it. All right, so we talked about the debt ceiling. Now let's get into some news that I didn't even know anything about. But I guess some politicians want to have something to do, and I guess it's a good cause in a sense. But I mean, okay, so Congresswoman Cheryl Jackson Lee, excuse me, has an anti-white supremacy bill. The Texas representative has put forth a bill to combat white supremacy. I'm sorry. I was just like, of all the things, of all the things, of all the things.
The things of the things.
Yeah, right. Because my whole thing with this, and the reason why I even chuckle, is because that is something, to be very honest with you, that white people have to tackle. Like white people got to turn to themselves and go, y'all can't be doing that.
And they're not willing to have the conversation with themselves.
That is exactly my point, which is why I'm just like, why do we always got to be the ones to put forth these bills that, you'll be doing it forever. I mean, she talked about, it's overdue, the 40 acres and the mule. When we gonna stop singing that story? Like we know this. Many of our people never even received it. You just got an Emmett Till bill across the line.
After
Anti-lynching bill across the line, which was also gutted before it was even approved.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
A lot of the things that would have been detrimental to where you wouldn't even have to create a white supremacy bill was gutted, thanks to people like Ron Paul and all these other politicians who continuously get elected because they're in states and areas where a lot of that shit is, kind of promoted. That kind of thinking is promoted, yet they act like, oh no, we're also inclusive. Bullshit, you're not. And then again, when we have people who run up against them, they don't show up and vote, or they do show up and vote and they just secretly vote for the other candidate because you don't get to identify who voted. You know what I'm saying? So they get to kind of hide under the guise of no, I voted for the other guy. I voted for the other guy. No, good and not damn well when you got in that booth or whatever behind that screen, you voted for who more looked like you. So yeah, And identity politics is real. You know what I'm saying? It really is. People will vote for a person more that they identify with, whether it's looks, demographics, or whatever. They will do that, and I've noticed that a lot of the saltines will do it. They will bite the bullet, even if they don't agree with what the person is promoting. They will still vote for someone who looks like them, kind of has the same interests as they do. That thing that we don't have. Yeah, that we don't have. We'll stab a mofo in the back in a minute and run for the other team because we're so trained that the other team is better. You get so much if you to go to the other side for what? To be used? Absolutely to be used. So definitely check out that in Congress, Jackson Lee's proposal for an anti-white supremacy bill. But good luck with that even hitting the floor.
I was getting ready to say, where do you think that's going?
Absolutely nowhere. But speaking of going nowhere, Ron DeSatan, dun dun dun, he back at it again. Okay, so of course he's had this whole attack on critical race theory and anything being taught of Black history in schools, and now he is on the attack of course, wanting information on transgender students. I mean, if he's not making this sound like early parts of World War II and the rise of Hitler during the Gestapo moment, I really don't know what
using the same playbook.
Same exact playbook. Same exact playbook. And then on top of it, I just saw a Twitter thing. I was trying to get it to clean it over here, where he was having a press conference and somebody asked him about critical race theory and teaching African American history in schools and stuff like that. And he started talking about they want to teach trans something. We're basically trying to tie in the teaching of Black history to
queer
history.
But they're just talking about like authors, queer authors, things like that.
I know what I know exactly what they were talking about, but my thought process just went to you're kind of twisting this, kind of preaching to the audience of that they are Black men and women who don't want that taught. You know what I'm saying? But they kind of feel a way about not having Black history taught in school. But if you mention anything gay, oh no, that's okay. That we you don't have to teach that if they trying to push this gay agenda on our history. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt like, what are we doing? Like first of all, this whole attack on people who happen to live a different life did not just come popping up out the woodwork. There have been gay civilizations for eons. Like, this is nothing new. I find it weird that now all of a sudden there's this, oh my gosh, everything is so gay. And it's just like, but it's been here. So I just don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't. But any thoughts on that? I don't know what this goes. I'm sorry. I can't take it. I'll mute. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, because she's over here having like a whole church service in her house, like some kind of Hispanic.
Oh, this is your neighbor? I couldn't hear it.
No, I hear it.
Hallelujah. No, but anyway, if this is something that we all can do.
Yeah.
Just when it comes to Florida is a economy is based on service industry, that type of thing. And of course, innocent people will get hurt and things like that. Stop spending your money in Florida. Don't take your vacations in Florida. Don't go to Disney. Don't go to Disneyland or Disney World.
Disney World.
Yeah, go to the one
on Universal Studios. Yeah,
it's not like we got the money any goddamn way, because these motherfuckers is gouge the hell out of us.
Make them motherfuckers feel it.
But you know, and this is something that everybody can do.
Yeah.
Don't utilize, you know, don't spend your money.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. And you know, once they find that you know, their tourism is down, and people give the real reason why. Why would I want to give my money to a state that has this man just spouting all this stuff? They don't want, you know, Black history, which is American history,
right?
Because of, you know, because of how it portrays white people, which is nothing but fact.
Facts, right?
But it's nothing but fact,
right?
And you know, you're going against the queer community,
and
that's everything and above.
Yeah,
it's hard enough just being human.
Yeah,
in the United States, plain and simple.
Right.
So why spend your money? You know, women, as far as abortion rights and everything else, they're going after everybody. So stop spending your money. Stop spending your money down there. I mean, like I said, innocent people get hurt.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll take it out on him. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a stand your ground state. So let's go stand all over his ground.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you got to do. So I don't know, but I just feel like, yeah, he's really throwing it out there, and because he's the governor of his state, he can do that. It's like being the president of your own little nation. He can put out a lot of this stuff, and the other Republican states are kind of picking up on this, and they're implementing a lot of these.
Well, you know, they follow right behind.
That's it, right behind the other, to the point where you're going to have a lot of, even, you know, a lot of these Democratic states, a lot of the counties and little areas inside of these Democratic states will start adopting these Republican ideas as well. That will be hard to kind of overturn. And speaking of overturning, the Supreme Court has completed their investigation into who leaked the Roe v. Wade papers. Now, remember when
it was Jenny did
that. Right. I believe so anyway. So remember that before Roe v. Wade was really trashed, there was the memo that was leaked that they were going and gunning for Roe v. Wade. That was the first thing that they were going to do away with when they had the majority in the Supreme Court. And of course, they tried to play it off like, no, we're not. No, we're not. We're going to, everything that's precedent beyond on the law, we're going to keep it that way. But that was bullshit. That was just so, you know, you wouldn't have an issue getting confirmed, because the main agenda from all of Trump's picks for Supreme Court was to gut Roe v. Wade. And they, you know, got their wish. But however, before that happened, it got leaked. And the justice leader, Roberts, was hell-bent on trying to figure out who leaked the Roe v. Wade papers. So they have finished their investigation. I still don't know if they even know who leaked it. But then again, they probably do. And like you said, it might have been Jenny Thomas, and they just don't want to say. And just because she was so overjoyed that, you know, that they were going to push forth an agenda that she's been pushing for years, since her Uncle Ruckus husband has been on the Supreme Court, that, you know, she was overjoyed and she just let it spill out of her mouth.
It doesn't even matter who leaked it. All you have to do is look at their votes. You know who voted for it.
I mean, the same people that, when in their confirmation hearings, said that they would not vote against it, that it was the law of the land and it would remain as such.
The lie just to get into the office.
The lie just to get in, right? And the other person didn't even have to lie. His old alcoholic self. I like beer. I like beer. I just like beer. The fuck are we doing? But these are the type of people that, you know, we vote for. Voting has consequences, and non-voting has consequences as well. And
Patty, they know. Girl, they know.
And speaking of consequences, permission slips have went out, not to go on a field trip, but to teach your children the national anthem, the black one, and got mixed reviews. You think so? You really think so? Years of them hearing nothing but the white national anthem, which is actually a whole slave narrative that they cut out. It was like, oh, let me just put this part, cut out that middle verse because it talks about slavery and keeping people enslaved, and we're just gonna cut out that part. We're gonna use the first stanza, the third, and a little bit of the fourth, and it's so great. But if you actually read the entire song of the national anthem that you sing, the second stanza is full of being enslaved black people, and the lovingness and gratefulness of the slave that it has brought to this nation, and that we should remain slaves.
Yeah, didn't it have something? It says something too about killing the British or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Which they left for a while, but then when they became friends with the British, they kind of
they took it out.
That up too. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it had mixed reviews. I mean, I'm not surprised mixed reviews from parents, but of course, again, we're dealing.
You know what? Half of them probably didn't even know that there was a black national anthem.
That's the whole thing. I was
because they're like, oh, it was.
Right. The lights.
I guess they'll find out at the football games, right?
Yeah. Yeah. When the one black artist starts singing and they be like, "What's that?"
Mm-hmm. Oh, I heard that song. I didn't know it was. You know what? We used to sing that in school all the time.
Right, but I grew up in inner city school too. We used to sing that in school all the time. That we sung that more than we sung.
Yeah, you know what? We very seldom did all that, and I couldn't wait after I got out of elementary school that we did not have to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I always wish I was Muslim. I couldn't figure out back then what Muslim was, but I know that a couple of kids in the class didn't have to get up, and I wish I was one of them all.
No, I mean, you would still, even if, because there were a few kids even in my class growing up that didn't stand for that, but they would still get the dirty look from the teacher, like, you could at least stand in reverence. And it's like, but if they saying it's against their religion, why would you make them stand? Like, that's just so absolutely ridiculous. Speaking of which, once I find the damn story, then I could really talk about it. But there was a story of a lovely secretary at a high school that lost her job. Here we go. All right, high school secretary who is out of a job for calling MLK Day Negro Day. Oh, I didn't know you could even do that and get away with it. Like, was that supposed to just... And again, because we're dealing with a former president who just said whatever the hell he said, and it was like, okay, and because, the truth of the matter is the January 6th people, nobody really got any stiff consequences, so that was okay. Mm-hmm. You've raised this custom of people can say what the hell they want to say, and it's fine. You even seen something that went viral this past week of this white guy berating the FedEx driver or something.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to deliver a package, calling them all types of N-words, and he said, oh, you're going to go viral. Oh, so what? I don't care. Mm-hmm. Because this level of not caring and then people turning around and supporting the fact that these people are saying these things is what's fueling a lot of this. Yeah, she lost her job, but I'm sure they started a GoFundMe and she at least now has a good $45,000 in the account.
Yeah, that and her pension, because they didn't take that.
They didn't take it, right. So it's like they'll fire you, but they don't fire you to the full extent where you lose everything. It's like, oh, we'll work out a severance package for you.
A golden parachute. That's what it's called. Right. A golden parachute. I'm for smacking that ass. Smack that ass.
That's it.
Smack that ass. Did you see the clip on the substitute teacher to snatch that kid up? The kid looked Hispanic or something, but evidently the kid kept calling the substitute teacher nigga.
Oh,
kept calling him that. So the teacher had his hands behind his back or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
And he said, "Well, say it now." And the student was like, "No," and kept pushing him off. Well, the ancestors rose up in that substitute teacher. Now, he's probably out of a job.
Right.
He snatched that boy up, feet off the ground, and to that board onto the floor. He was one too many niggas.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's just like it doesn't make any sense. I don't even understand how you can raise your child to think that is okay to say.
It's dangerous, white people.
And right.
This is one for the white folk. I'm looking into the camera. It's dangerous. It is very, very dangerous. Don't take your life in your hands for a word, because you don't know. Everybody has different levels.
We are no longer living on the eyes on the prize days. So when you're watching them black and white eyes on the prize and thinking, "Oh, we need to go back there," you're not going to go back there with these people. There's a difference.
No. You're going to go somewhere, but it won't be there.
They were, and I commend them all. They were a special group of people. I mean, seriously, to be able to be humble and restrain yourself through all of that.
That's because they saw the whole entire picture. Where nowadays we're not confronted like that. Our scope is a lot smaller, which makes us more apt to snatch your ass up.
That's it. More to pop off and pop one in you. I just don't. I don't even understand the level of veracity to think that you really, gonna sit here and like, you really gonna call this man the N-word, or you're really gonna say that, oh, this is N Day, and okay, like, you still gonna be employed? You still think that everything's gonna be okay? Like, this is cancel culture for everybody, not just a select few.
Yeah,
this is for everybody. So you say it, you'll get canceled. And being a high school secretary, now you're starting to put into question, well, have you manipulated people's grades that you were able to see?
You have to look at all of it. Your 35 or whatever amount of time there. What have you done?
What have you done?
Now we know who you showed you are. Face. Yeah. What have you done?
Yeah. People like her deserve this. And, a lot of times I wish I could participate in certain sports. And this is one sport that I really do wish I could participate in, because she deserves it. Just straight up, just lay you out on the ground. Yeah. One of those. And you ask yourself, why is he dancing around? It's because it is. Lay your ass out. Just straight out. Down on the ground. And you back up. Oh, yeah, maybe not. Roll around. Did you see the whiplash on that?
Idaho, small town for big boys, baby.
That's just crazy. A lot of people deserve that.
That made my hand hurt.
I could line up some folks. Oh my gosh, I feel like was it Dorinda Clark? So I could slap somebody in their face. I just feel like I just I want to release, and I think she would be a perfect candidate.
Wow. I'd probably fracture every bone in my hand.
Oh, it's just the great power. Oh, goodness gracious of life. Let's see what else we got here. We just did that. We talked about the Supreme Court knots. Let's see. Talked about the debt ceiling. I'm missing one. We'll talk about that in a second. Oh, that was gross. Let's see. We talked about the N-word lady, and I think. All right, so I think I got everything just about. Let me know if I forgot something, but I think I got everything covered.
Oh, the Breonna Taylor.
Oh.
Booted us out.
Sorry about that. It's the damn StreamYard. Yeah, Breonna Taylor. I didn't. I had it here somewhere. Where did you go? But I'll grab it. Give me 1 second. But Breonna Taylor, real quick, as I pull up the story, there was in a diner. There were some people in a diner talking about the murder of Breonna Taylor, as if they knew firsthand details on the day she was murdered by these police officers. And somebody happened to be recording the entire conversation. I'm not surprised at the level of just of these people, because again, as we talked about time and time again, there is no consequence for these murders. They don't lose their pensions. Yeah, they may lose their job or be put on the desk for a while, but they can still go to other counties. They can still go to other states and be hired. Nothing is really done at the end of the day to a lot of these people. So they get away with a lot of this stuff. Diners were caught off guard as a group of people started looking at footage of Breonna Taylor's death in a Kentucky restaurant. But I mean, you mean to tell me nobody in the restaurant that looked like them was that appalled to say anything? I mean, they may have said something later after, they left the restaurant, maybe called the news, and that's how the story got out. But you didn't say anything then and there. You didn't make a think about it then and there. You didn't post it on social media so your friends could see the level.
No, because they were too appalled. Who goes to a restaurant? And I believe were they having a meeting or something?
Yeah,
or it was some. Yeah,
they were having a meeting.
And this is
what the Bowling Green County, Bowling Green, Country Club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we don't actually always get invited into the country club, so you already know that. You already know what it was given. Very saltine, unsalted. Yes, crackerdom.
Mm-hmm. But that's pretty much. Like I said, when you see people not as human beings,
right?
It's just like a hunting expedition.
That's it.
Footage that you could just actually watch and look and see when they did this, see when they popped her up at this, and that type of. And that's the mentality that
like the Purge. We are really edging closer to this nature of purging. Which
it's the collapse. Every civilization collapses.
Yeah,
and we are there.
Well, they act like we not.
Mm-hmm. We are there.
Yeah, so definitely check out that article. It was a bit disturbing about the nature of what they discussed, and of course, like I said, everybody surrounding the area literally listened and recorded, but nobody said anything until after the whole entire situation was over. Then people started calling the NAACP and other places.
I would have thought that they would have said something to the managers at the restaurant.
Yeah.
First of all, because you're in a public place.
Yes.
And if you had children or whatever.
Yeah.
And evidently this was loud enough for them to hear.
Right. But then it goes to say that the nature of what everybody knows is acceptable, in that kind of setting. That, we don't really let them in here. And the few that are in here because they're beneficial to.
You know what it is too? They thought they were in the safe space.
Oh, really? Why would you think that? Because you're around other saltines in the box. Because you're around other saltines in the box.
Notice how it glows.
But look what they do though. They do this
privilege all the time. written all over it. His white privilege written all over it.
But they do this all the time. It's like publicly you won't denounce what your people do. Privately, you'll do it, and you'll do stuff like this and, pull the alarm and ring the alarm, but you won't do it publicly. Without doing it publicly, does it really matter? Because we don't know who the people are. We just know that it was done, but you don't know who the people are. And actually, the people could be people you're supporting right now. You buying their products. You're probably, supporting their stores or whatever, but you wouldn't know. And that's the part that I think it's unfortunate that if you're really going to be an ally, then be an ally and call shit out and not just secretly kind of do it, but publicly do it. Yeah. So I think that was that on that. All right. So let's shift gears a little bit and let's get into some other stuff with, of course, the other segment of our show. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You said you're not ready?
Go ahead. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
All right. Well, first, because I know everybody's going to be running in here just to know my thoughts on this whole.
But hold up for one quick second.
Yes.
Because Patty just reminded us real quick. They did find documents. They found documents at Pence's house too.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. I was just about to say that. Too as I was looking because it just popped up too. Thank you, Patty Duke. But yes, they just found documents, classified documents at Vice President Pence's house, which last time I checked, he didn't have a house because when he left the White House, he was homeless, sleeping on a friend's couch.
Yeah, he was living with somebody.
Right? So it's like, where were those documents then? So now all of a sudden, because now he may have found a house, that y'all found documents.
Found his Pornhub account.
Right. And you see none but big black slong dongs. Okay.
I didn't know Pence was in the BBCs.
He looked like he take horse meat. Just big old plastics just everywhere. Him and his wife doing doubles, just going back and forth.
Slam me, mommy.
Right, which is absolutely crazy. Slap me with it, mama. Just ridiculous. But it goes to show you that all of the presidents, and I'm sure even Barack may have some unclassified documents of some sort of nature. But are they, again, what we're missing is, are these documents like in nature dangerous to the security of the United States? That I can probably 9 times out of 10 say absolutely not. Trump shit, yes, because I'm sure he had people telling him, "Oh no, this will get us money. This will get you money because they want this and they want that, and this one wants this and this one wants that." And he snatched up everything that these people wanted so they could have it, and so he can make money.
Donald Trump is like when you leave a job. You steal everything.
Shit, right.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but you steal everything that's not nailed down.
Everything. I'm taking the rugs. I'm taking the toothbrushes. I'm taking the toilets. I'm taking all the shit. It's all coming home with me. I don't have time to be at the inauguration for this other mofo because I'm stealing shit. Okay, and and y'all gonna send me the bill later talking about some. There's a bill for the towels. What towels? I didn't take no towels. You had a whole house full of presidential seal towels. Talking about some. I don't have none. It's just it's like, what kind of game are we playing? Well, you already know they're of a particular nature. Anybody else who had them or who would have had these classified documents would have been arrested by now.
That's right. Darnell.
You said who?
Darnell.
I mean, but this is the part where you don't treat him like Darnell, because if you really treated him like Darnell, then he would have been in jail. Okay, but there's times where he gets to use his Darnell and Donald privileges. And he bounces back and forth. You talk about code switching. He's a code switcher. Yeah. So he does it. I don't know how well, but he definitely does it. So
to the foolishness.
So the first part of the foolishness, because it will segue into my whole Tracy situation. Kevin Gates has reported that he likes to be peed on. He enjoys little golden showers from the ladies, allegedly. He just said that on one of their radio interview, podcast little interviews, where he talks about him enjoying golden showers from the ladies. And I'm just thinking, okay, just the ladies, but okay, I'm gonna leave that just one alone. But yeah, so those of you who are Kevin Gates fans, know that he has a feather in his hair and he will let you pee on him. So hopefully that makes you a little more.
Y'all don't drink enough water for me.
It'd
be all frothy. That's got a good head on it. I don't know what's with these young.
I don't know.
Too much information.
It really is. It
like
really
protein on her food.
That's it. I mean, I just don't
stand for these people. No, keep that to yourself. I don't need to know.
Even the other young lady talked about how she likes peeing. The one that's dating Puffy right now. She talked about how she likes to get peed on, and it's just like
you are not pissing on me.
You're not pissing.
Come on, she drank water all day. Like, I don't give a shit.
I don't give a damn. She drank water. She also ate stuff, so all that stuff is still in the urine. And not to mention, it's exiting. So everything that is supposed to exit the body is now exiting, and you want it on you.
Granted, it is sterile because nothing could live in those types of conditions.
Well,
but there's no way
it depends on who's pissing. Okay, it depends on who's pissing.
Look, I don't want nobody pissing on me.
Well, somebody get in contact with Rob Rack in the jail cell right now and ask him.
Somebody, they pissing on him.
Well, he went to get pissed on from Tracy, now getting pissed on by other inmates. That looks like fun. Talk about a change of events. So anyway, let's get into this whole weekend of what somebody say. I think it was Nicole Reloaded had Red Roof, the Red Roof Gate, a Red Roof Gate, which I thought was quite clever.
Yeah, that was definitely an Airbnb on that.
Yes,
he picked his ass up.
Yeah, just craziness. Now, let's get into the very beginning of the whole minutia of it. Did I really think that this was good for Tracy? I mean, yeah, I guess I'm not really, and no shade to her, but I'm not really a follower of hers like that. The only time I really I've seen her in other chats that I've been in, and the only time I've addressed her when, of course, she tried to mislabel you as being somebody who she knew as to be stomped down and that whole thing. And it was just like, no, we're not doing that, lady. I don't know you. You stay over there. I'll stay over here. But we're not going to do that here. And then other than that, I mean, to me, if I don't have no beef with you, I don't, we don't have no beef. I'm not one that's going to have beef for you for somebody else. That's not my thing. I'll just stay out of it. But however, as far as her, finding a love interest, whatever. I mean, there's nobody I would pick, but that would alleviate another person to a person. And it's like, cool. You could have it if that's your interest. That's your thing. Now, in watching some of this, I just thought, oh, okay, cool. This is a money grab type of situation because, of course, people were talking about it and kind of pushing it along, like, oh yeah, you should go see her. You should go visit. This is gonna be good. People gonna want to watch. So I already kind of knew, like, okay, people are pushing this because they already know this is going to be a shit show. And then this will be something to talk about for the remainder of 2023. Okay, it'll be another gate.
Into 4.
Yes, it'll be another. Right, it'll be another gate to talk about. So upon this first meeting, I didn't see any. And thank you to the people who sent the clips and the little, kind of bites that I was able to, kind of ingest a little bit without fully throwing up in my mouth. But my whole thing is, even just looking at them, that they look similar. You know what I'm saying? Like, they look kind of alike. So it was just like, ew, that's kind of just even gross to be like, ew. But I don't know. I just didn't expect much. I really didn't. I wasn't expecting like no golden romance from what I heard of
No,
him.
because it looked like what it was.
Yeah, like from what I
There's no
heard of
way in the
him.
world that you're going to hook up with somebody and spend the majority of your time broadcasting.
I mean,
Plain and
y'all didn't go
simple.
out. Y'all didn't go out and do nothing.
I don't even want to see the OnlyFans. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to see you guys doing nothing on OnlyFans. Absolutely not. I probably want to claw my eyes out. I definitely don't want to see you on Pornhub. And at the end of the day, if this is the person that you were interested in, why the fuck would you be on here 24/7 videotaping every moment? And most
You
of the
wouldn't have
time,
heard a peep out of me for my entire time there.
this is what I'm saying. Maybe when you first got there to be like, "Hello, guys, we're here." After that, it would have been like dead silence. You know what I'm saying? For a while, or maybe if we woke up the next day, oh, let's get ready to go do something, and then that's it, silence, because you need time to kind of get to know or whatever. But no, you spent most of your time at that little desk there in that little corner because it didn't take them long to find the Airbnb single room. The single room with the pictures, okay?
They are ruthless.
Of the same little cross mirror thing that was in the back of them. Yeah, so, and the $75 an hour or the day rate thing, however that thing went. But yeah, I mean, that was cool in the beginning. But yeah, I mean, it might as well been.
It's like
That's what it felt like.
Should have rented about an hour.
Right. Play date. So then as it progressed a little bit, of course it got very kind of nerve-wracking for me. Because I don't deal well with any kind of domestic violence in any way. So it really started to make like, okay, like first of all, it's too early for this type of talk and behavior. Way too early. If you're really just meeting someone for the first time, granted, y'all could have been talking for months and we just not have known about it. But if you're physically meeting this person for the first time and this is the way you're talking to them, that's a problem. There's nothing okay with that. And granted, I started to understand that self-esteem is like beyond low. You know what I'm saying? To the point where you felt like this is okay, because that's just not okay. And then for a lot of people to be like, well, that's her business. I'm gonna stay out of it. I'm gonna do. But these are the same people that on the flip side will be talking about women's empowerment and women need to stick together and we women and this women and women this and women that. But you would sit here and be okay with watching another woman making a choice that, yeah, granted, yeah, but to not even say, well, I wouldn't. Girl, you could do better. Even if I know you probably couldn't do better, but at least the hope of you could do better, rather than, well, we just gonna watch it and just mind our business because it don't have nothing to do with us. What's a bit?
No, just from the safety aspect. That's the only thing that concerned me, because I'm like you. I don't follow her. I have no engagement with her or anything like that. But I was still concerned that she was making stupid, very stupid moves.
Right.
You want to meet somebody that you don't know. You only know them through this apparatus.
Right.
And I mean,
I think whatever you may have talked about, behind the scenes, I don't know if there was any.
Yeah, that's true too, because we don't know how in depth that was also. But I was just more concerned about that. I didn't want to come on here and or on the news something pops up, the
right.
beef sector murder.
And then it'd be and then it'd be beef sector. That kind of
type of thing.
Oh, that was crazy. And then for people to be like, oh, I always told her not to do, and it's like, bullshit, you was over there encouraging shit. So I was concerned about that. And then of course things got very crazy for me, because at one point, people were talking about how trash he was, and I was like, you know what? Let me see what this person, like, how this person is, because the little clips I was given was definitely giving me enough of he ain't shit, but I definitely wanted to, for myself, kind of get an idea of what this person was talking about and how this person kind of moved. And what struck me is he was outside on his live talking, right? And he was just a whole bunch of shit like, oh, I'm over her, this, that, and the other. She's trash, this, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, because I'm about to leave here. I need to go see, MU or whatever. But that's a private conversation. She wouldn't know nothing about that. But if she hear it, she might be a little mad, but she don't know what we said behind the scenes, because that was all behind the scenes conversation. I was just like, how are you doing this right now when all these people are watching you are either supporters of her or only know her, but are watching you, just kind of see what this whole train wreck is going to be. It's like watching a tennis match. You're just watching hit after hit after hit after hit, following this thing go back and forth. And it's like, who says that? And it just got really, really crazy for me. And then, of course, the whole people started talking about he brandished a gun, and it was just like, wow, there are children there nearby, because, of course, that's their residence. So that was a bit crazy. And then, of course, it didn't take long before somebody called the Peoples, and then they were removed from that Airbnb and then had to go to the now infamous Red Roof Inn. Okay, now that's when it got a little extra hairy for me. Okay, from the clips, because I didn't watch it. I wasn't doing it. But from the clips, of course, he started talking about her, they going back and forth with each other and their looks and all this other kind of stuff, which I thought was very weird, because in the beginning days, we were talking about screwing and how it didn't fit and she couldn't take it and all this other kind of stuff, which really made me want to throw up in my mouth. But then we started talking about papers and people and her having the letters and all this. And I'm like, how are you talking about this on day 5 when that could have been a discussion on day 1? And of all of the stuff that you've already done, you've literally allegedly munched on her while she was on live and told her to go squash, 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 squash twice. And now you want to talk about paper?
Wrong time to worry about blisters.
Yeah, I mean, it's already happening. There's already a party happening inside your immune system right now. If that was the case, I mean, I just didn't understand. I was confused. And if it was a thing to kind of garner people or get people to watch or just to amp stuff up, I think it was a poor choice, because there's other stuff you could have done. Y'all could have went on a date together and just done stuff together, went to the amusement park and pissed on yourself like others and got more people to watch than you would have. That shit. I didn't get it. I really didn't get it. But it was unfortunate. It really was unfortunate to see all of that. It really was. But I don't know. Your thoughts? If you have any on that?
I have no thoughts. People, please make better choices.
Yeah, just like be careful of who you're choosing.
Yeah, I'm just not.
Be careful of who you're choosing to sleep with.
I mean, what can you say?
Yeah.
What can you say? I
don't know.
Granted, it definitely had the place buzzing.
Yeah, it did have the place buzzing.
People were doing the visual, and I'm glad that it was for commentary and not that something seriously had happened.
Yeah,
you just don't know. These people out here are just crazy. You just don't know. So just make better choices.
Yeah,
I mean,
he did get arrested.
You know what? Christmas must have been lean as shit.
Yeah,
to pull this one out of your hat.
Yeah. He did wind up getting arrested because, of course, he does have priors. He also has to handle that. So that bail is looking pretty hefty. And that's unfortunate.
It took up all the cash apps.
Yeah. Plus some. Okay. But I don't know. I just think that could have went a whole different way. And I don't know what either person was really trying to prove with just having a normal thing. One, I wouldn't have spent 7 days with somebody I don't know. You could have spent the weekend.
Yeah, I'd have done the weekend.
Yeah, you would have done the weekend, and then you could have went to see somebody else, or kind of changed it up, or went to go see some sites, or did something different.
Yeah, done the weekend, and everything. If everything went well, then we'd do another weekend someplace else or whatever.
Someplace else,
but,
or some different.
I'm just glad everybody's basically safe. That was only my only concern.
Yeah, I get that.
Like I say, even though I don't.
Absolutely,
you just don't want to hear the horror story.
Yeah, but I mean, if you put yourself in if you put yourself in that horror, then it's on you. But I don't know. I don't know. I just think you're way too old to be making those type of choices. It was almost like watching a 16, 15-year-old, 20-year-old make a dumb decision, and you just like, yeah. Then I was like, okay, short bus much. But other than that, yeah, it is what it is. But of course, the streets are buzzing. It made an alliance kind of implode from all of this. I don't know. I really, I really don't know. And somebody seems to always kind of be the link to all of this. And I'll keep my theory to myself for the time being, but I'm just telling you, I just think it's this one person that is the connection to all of these things happening, whether it's the men kind of being introduced to this side and kind of connecting with a lot of these content creators, and then all these things kind of like implode out of nowhere, but come to find out this one thread is the one connected to all of this. It's just something interesting that just makes me go, I wonder. But other than that, that was all my thoughts and theories on that. I'm glad everyone is safe. The 7 days was a bit much, and make better choices. But I mean, what can I say? Other than that, that was it. That was all I had to say on that. That was it. Any thoughts? Any closing thoughts on that?
No, none. just this weekend's coming up, so
yeah, right.
There's still more.
And everybody's going to be like, oh, kind of see what her afterthoughts are going to be. So I'm sure people will watch for that. And then also too, another gross moment that really grossed me out, that I heard that she was like the designated driver for his blow machine, because of course he had previous DUIs and stuff. So he had the whole apparatus in his car. So then I was thinking like other people, like, who is cleaning that? Are you cleaning that? Is it sterile?
He probably couldn't blow anyway because he had Tracy on his breath.
And I'm sure there was a lot of alcohol just in that cotton swabs and just stuff. I don't know, but that was just the thought of that was a bit yucky. But gave me like mono or something. But I just thought like, I hoped you really wiped that off every time you had to do that, because you can imagine the many women and some men or whomever had to do that so he could move that car. Times when he could not because he was too hammered to do so. And he drinks regularly, as we could see. So of course, I don't think he missed a day without alcohol, because a day without alcohol for him is a day wasted, and I don't think he wasted a day. So other than that, that was it. That was all I had on that that I thought was worth talking about. Of course, Kimmy did a live earlier, and she really kind of did some things. Something that other content creators like Reed herself had kind of hinted to. So a lot of it was very interesting to listen to be honest. Kind of the theories and stuff. But I'm glad nobody got hurt. I will say that. I am glad nobody really got hurt, because these kind of situations where police are called could have happened in a different way. And that is my other last closing thought is whomever made the call. I know sometimes, you think it's funny or you think it's a go get, but at the end of the day, a lot of times we have known that a lot of these calls have ended with people losing their lives. So I don't, I don't know who made the call, but sometimes I just want to, if the person even takes that into account, that could have gone a way that God knows would have been so crazy. But yeah. But any movies or anything that you're watching or that you've
No,
seen?
sir.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
I still haven't thought of the movie that I was watching. I was like, oh, this was pretty good. It'll come to me later, and I'll be like, oh.
Well,
Yeah.
sir, I'm going to have to get ready to call it a night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Not a problem. It's always a pleasure to have you. And I'll see you next bet channel, next bet time, sir.
Okay, then, sir.
Oh, what did you remember to
I'll text it to you.
Text it? Okay.
I can't say it on here.
Okay.
I can't say it on here.
No problem.
Okay. Everybody have a good night and take care. And don't make smart moves.
Right, exactly. You have a good night, sir.
Okay, take it easy. I'll talk to you later.
All right, guys. So anybody watching, so I can cut on the chat now. So anybody watching any shows, anything new? Do you want me to talk about what I told that he was Black Hebrew? Oh, really? I wouldn't have even thought he was just the way he talked. I wouldn't have pictured that from the way he because I know a lot of them to be kind of very like male chauvinistic a little bit, but his was a little all that counting down. It was like a little kid showing off in front of their friends, like if they got a new toy or something. It was very immature, very childish kind of thing. And I didn't understand that. And then some of the other content creators who have kind of come over here, kind of supported that kind of behavior and thought it was funny. And it was like, no, it's not funny though. It's not funny. It's nothing manly about that to kind of treat a woman that way. That one you just met physically, and to treat her like that, and she already falling into this. Oh, babe, it's okay. It's complicated. What's so complicated about you just meeting someone and them treating you like that? There's nothing complicated about that. But again, that's where value and self-worth kind of play into that. That's a bit of a problem. But that's all I can say about that. Other than that, that was about it. That's all I had. If anybody had any thoughts, views, comments, or concerns that they want to share, I'll put the link in. Now, don't be like what they recently did to Duchess Kelly Love, because we're not doing no people popping their stuff out. But if you want to share, there's the link. You can pop on. You don't have to show your face, but if you have something to add to that. If not, we can roll up on out of here. I'll give it a couple minutes. As far as any shows or anything I'm watching, the show with Octavia Spencer, that old show, it just come back for season 3 on Apple TV, and I gotta start watching. I think it's like 2 episodes in, that I have to start watching. So I haven't watched it yet. So where she does a podcast, but it's like a detective kind of murder mystery, whodunit type of show. It's definitely cool. Octavia Spencer, I can't think of the name of it. It always escapes me, but that's out. And then the series from Michael M. Shyamalan that he does on Apple TV and that's the guy from The Sixth Sense and those type of movies, Unbreakable, all that. It's called The Servant. I seen season 1. Season 1 was good, so I can't wait to see season 2. The Godfather of Harlem. I heard that was really good, but I haven't checked it out yet. So I'll definitely take a look into that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. I'm just, like I said, I'm just glad everybody's safe. And it's interesting to hear everybody's commentary and kind of their thoughts on the situation. I definitely know it brought a lot of attention to the two content creators that were involved. And I'm sure it brought them cash apps, but definitely not enough cash apps because you're staying at the Red Roof Inn. So I'm just saying something, just the Red Roof Inn. So I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I guess he didn't think that he was going to actually lose his job and lose his freedom all in that kind of situation. What did you watch? Oh, you watched the first season? Okay. How did you like it? I haven't watched it at all. And also, what is it? BMF something? It's like a black mafia family series as well. I haven't watched that, but I heard it's pretty good. I haven't watched that yet either. And season 2 of Bel Air is coming back, and Tatiana Ali, who played Ashley Banks on the series of Fresh Prince of Bel Air, will play the English teacher in the actual new drama series of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air for season 2. Mm-hmm. So that should be interesting. Okay, cool. You liked it? All right, cool. I'll check it out. I will definitely check it out. Yeah, so that's all I got. I really didn't have anything else. And it looks like nobody's going to hit the linkus. So that's perfectly fine. We can head on out of here. Everybody, please make sure you're being safe. Make sure you moisturize as always. Wear your mask and do what you need to do. BMF, yes, that's what it's called. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but I heard it's really, really good. So I got to check that out. But yeah, definitely make sure that you're doing your thing, wearing your mask, still keeping your distance. Just being smart because there's crazy folks out here, and we want to make sure that we maintain and keep ourselves together. Be cautious about your eggs because clearly they are running dry. So please make sure you're stocking up on that which you can. Please make sure, of course, that water and the essentials are definitely something that are there as it gets colder and when the snow starts to hit, because of course Texas got hit with a little bit of snow certain parts, that you want to make sure you have your essentials just in case. All right. Without nothing else, guys, always have a great night. And until next time, peace, America, and be safe and make better choices. All right. Good night.